Organizing for digital innovation is different from organizing for normal innovation. Digital innovation is far more flexible, fluid, as compared to the earlier process, which is much more punctuated. It lasts for a little longer.
One of the things that was quite different is the number of people that have to be involved, different kinds of specialists, but different kinds of companies.
For organizing digital innovation, you are more aware that you need an open attitude and to include actors outside the organization.
It used to be that IT innovation was really about, IT used to be a support function in the company. So in a sense, it was really business first and IT, second, which you can see actually in the value chain by Porter and other ways. With digital, it's truly changed. Digital become center stage and very much integrated with the business and the business value.
When you look at digital, you see more of a front-end facing of the customer. What's unique for the customer value?
So organizing for IT is about organizing for stability. Organizing for digitization is about organizing for change.
I think today organizations are changing completely and tend to become platform of communities articulating different communities. And in this vision, it's absolutely clear that digital innovation plays a key role to connect the ideas of one community to another one.
Without really taking the unique aspect of digital technology seriously, you cannot really do digital innovation effectively.
Digital innovation has got two components in my opinion, which is different. One is that it links people and things together. So it's kind of linking. And the second is that it is highly transient. So it is very rapid, it keeps on changing. And if you come to the 21st century where we are, no longer are people trying to isolate themselves, they're trying to link with each other. And that is a complete big shift. The second is no longer is it people ought to be thinking in sustainable advantages. They have to think in terms of transient advantages. That means there are shorter time periods and they will be attacked and they need to be organized for that to shift and change.
In innovation, we usually focus on new things, right? So when someone gets a new camera, for example, you say, oh, there's a new way to take a photo. Usually we don't just take a photo. The photo goes into some other product. If we think of innovation as just using a cell phone to take a photo, we're missing that bigger picture, which I would call the affordance network. It's the network of interdependent actions in the larger activity.
The amount of innovation spreads from the digital core out to all the actors who are going to participate in the project, almost no matter what their role is. They all become involved in the digitization.
Ecosystems are needed to create a network of people connected to each other or organizations connected to each other in order to complement each other.
In this connection, the digital platform play a key role to articulate all of the ideas. The main challenge is the money spent in platforms which are not fit for the organization. This is a huge challenge, I think, for managers of companies to find the right platform to make this exchange between communities possible.
So you think about digital 3D printing. It's phenomenal what they've been able to do in terms of printing organic materials such as the human heart. Think who's involved with 3D printing in the hospital? Who are the groups in the organization that take and manage that new technology and disseminate and diffuse it within the hospital? There are different roles. There are the traditional CIO roles, but now there are emerging roles such as the Chief Digital Officer or Chief Innovation Officer, with that emphasis on primarily value at the front end for customers. And that's where it's very interesting to consider their role changing. How do you actually manage those new roles effectively, and what are the political and power dynamics at play can be significant in developing the competence of digital as you move from your more traditional IT perspective.
traditional companies like an automotive firm, for instance, would very much like to have a pre-planned product where you essentially know all features. They've tried to reach scale economics for years, so they've perfected, that model. And certainly it would be truly different life cycle that, you cannot launch a car as a prototype in a sense and ask users to refine it. But that would be the logic you would think about, in digital. So in order to compete with third-party developers and others, you need to incorporate two logics at the same time. And I think they can be very competing.
Our whole, the institutional systems, including legal systems, our cultural practices are built around this more traditional physical products and services. When digital technology comes in with its own unique characteristics, fundamentally challenging those legal boundaries and institutional norms, I think that's where the real challenge comes. Coming up with new technology that would work in hospital, for example, is relatively simple, but making it work within a larger institutional practices of healthcare, and it's all complicated regulations and norms and rules and different roles, that's really difficult. So that's the biggest challenge I see. One of the key roles that design plays, for example, is a combination of form and function. So when digital technology is fundamentally separating form and function, and design is trying to combine these two, it has to be very different.
The design attitude is this attitude that no matter where you look, no matter what you consider, you can make things radically better. It's like a new form of belief in the future, and it's very energizing.
Digital is center stage, and we've had at least 30 years of experience, in the field, so we should be able to take that chance. So it feels like being in the right place at the right time.